Hey, what's going on, family? It's Brother Coasty at IALLG.com. We are always building bridges within to explore the world without. And today, for you on this series, I have for you something very, very important. And it's the difference, or rather, choosing between two things. And sometimes it takes persistence, and sometimes it takes patience. This is one of the key areas of discernment that people have a hard time understanding and getting through, right? Sometimes you got to keep pushing, pushing, pushing. You got to keep applying pressure. And sometimes you got to let things breathe and take a break, take a step back and understand that everything happens in divine timing and divine alignment. And until you can understand the delicate dance between this balance, you will always find yourself either working too hard or not working enough. So you have to learn to let go. You have to learn how to observe, and you have to also learn how to analyze patterns and behaviors. You got to apply your mind. Family, look, it's so exciting once you see life begin to unfold. Like, life is not a rigid thing. Life is a series of laws and rules, but you can begin to manipulate them and interject your consciousness, your living essence, your being into that mixture that we like to call life. This is what discernment is. It's all about being able to see what is not visibly there. And so you understand that visibly is a 3D thing, and a lot of the times you may not visualize, or visibly is a 5D thing. It's really, or a 4D thing. I don't know what dimension it's on. It's in the mind. I think that's 4D. Visualizing something is in the mind. Visually seeing is in the mind, and then you see what you see. You see what you visualize, right? And you got to understand this discernment is such a powerful thing because it allows you to visualize. It allows you to see what's in the mind of that which is around you, right? So it's the same as when you meet somebody and you feel a certain way about them before you actually talk to them. And this is not the judgmental thing, but it's more of the discernment, or more of the feelings that you get, right? You can tell when somebody's up to no good. You usually get a feeling about it, like it goes into your bones. It's not a thought. You can also tell when somebody is a genuinely good person because, again, you feel it within your body. It's not just a thought. And then when you speak to them, you confirm the thoughts, or you confirm the feeling with thought, right? And it's the same thing when it comes to understanding persistence and patience. You have to observe whatever it is that you're working on, and feel the energetic vibrations of this project or this endeavor. You got to feel the energetic vibration, fam. Like, it's hard to explain because a lot of things in life are things that you got to experience, right? Like, when I say I'm a guide, I give you the blueprints on practicing, but you'll get the mastery of when you're practicing because it'll make more sense. See, there's two components of becoming a mastery. There's the theory, and then there's the exercise or the practice. And you need both to become the master, because if I told you, hey, go exercise your ability to be persistent, you might not understand what that means, or you don't understand to what degree I mean by that. And on the same token, I might say, I want you to exercise being patient. And again, what is the levels of being patient and giving up? Like, where is this middle line? Where is this line drawn? And it's drawn by understanding there's a marriage of two sides. There's theory and then there's application. And you have to marry this to understand the reality, the truth. Hope that didn't go over your heads. And if it did, rewind this and rewatch it again. I'm going to go over it again in just a second, though. But sometimes it takes persistence and other times it takes patience. I have all my notes written up on the board behind me. So if you see me looking off, that's what I'm doing. You have to understand that persistence is another word for consistency. It's another word for effort. Putting in effort, consistent effort. And if you're not persistent, you won't get the fruits of your labor. I'm here to tell you this right real fast. Life is challenging you. Life does not give you exactly what you want or exactly what you ask for immediately, because if it did so, it wouldn't be able to really see if you really are focused on that. Life is all about building focus, and life causes you to go through these waiting periods, or the not the digestion, but I think it's gestation period, or it's going to make you go through a waiting period for a reason. It wants to see how focused you can become and how focused you are, because the more focus you have, the faster things come to you. But remember, fast is a relative term. Fast, speed, all those are relative, right? Because the rabbit is fast compared to the turtle, but a rabbit might not be fast compared to a cheetah, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's all just dependent. Everything is always dependent on something else as a reference point. So when we're talking about patience and persistence, you got to realize those things are relative to what you're working on and the amount of energy and effort that is needed to bring those to you. So if you're trying to manifest a successful business bringing in $15,000 a month, your persistence may have to be 6, 7, 8, 9 months, 10 months worth, and your patience may have to be the exact same. Like, you got to realize persistence and patience are, they're opposites, but they're also similars, right? They're on a pole. They're on a pole, right? So you can be patient while being persistent. Um, and sometimes you have to learn to just chill, dude. Just chill. Like, sometimes we take overdoing things as being persistent, but sometimes that persistence is not being patient. For example, you get back to the gym in day one, say you used to lift 200 pounds in high school and you haven't lifted in 5 years. You want to hurry up and get back and get those gains. So you go in and put 200 pounds on the bench. See, you're not being patient, but you want to be persistent. You want to push through, but you got to realize things take time. Things are transforming. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transmuted. And that transmutation process takes time. It takes a period, but it also takes patience. So you have to give it room to grow, but it also takes effort, which means you got to keep pushing it to grow. And there's a delicate line and a delicate balance. That's why in order to lose weight or to gain muscle, you have to keep doing things, but you also can't rush the process. You have to understand this balance point. And I only bring things up to you to bring them to your awareness, because everybody asks, well, how do I become patient? How do I do this stuff? And you do by being. You do by being. You have to just go with the process, and you have to go through the process of failing and learning and failing and learning and doing and tapping into your feeling. That's the biggest thing, family. That's why this whole discernment series is about. It's about tapping into feeling. What is it? What do you feel? Not what do you think? And I know for a lot of us, we have been trained to think instead of feel. And when we think something, we say that we feel it. But in reality, it's just an egoistic thought, and it has no basis in what we're actually feeling around us as far as our connection to the environment. And so I want to implore y'all to take moments to become still, to just breathe and just be. And when you learn to do that, you will begin to wake up your feeling centers. And when you feel your feeling centers coming alive, that will be your bridge. That will be your light. That will be your instructor on what to do and where to go next. See, I'm just here to bring this to your awareness. You already have everything that you need within. It just takes somebody pointing and showing you what parts of you have been shut down because of the system and the conditioning that we're in. The time is over, family. The time is over to stay asleep. It's now time for you to become awake and become aware and be the infinite essence that you are. Hope this made sense to you all, family. Hope it did. If it doesn't, give it a few days and watch it again and see if it makes sense again. I know it sounds backwards, but these are just some of the weird tricks that I've learned and noticed that help things click. So as always, this is Brother Coasty. If you are somebody who wants to make it to your next stage in life, who wants to level up your life, who wants to keep growing and expanding and really realize your true greatness and your ultimate potential, I give you the invitation. I give you the offer to join my academy. It's a limited release school where we're going to go over the 6 steps to greatness. And as with any awesome knowledge, there has to be some prerequisites or some preliminary qualifications that you have to understand. So I have my mental hygiene one-on-one class. That's the way to get into the school. It will teach you the process of cleaning out your mind, doing the inner work, what some people may call shadow work. But shadow work is not just limited to the shadow. You have to also do the shadow work and the light work. You have to begin integrating that. That's what I call inner work. You go through that process, and as you stay in the academy, we'll go over the 6 steps of greatness in detail, in depth, week after week after week. This is something that you don't want to miss. It's something that you want to be a part of. If this sounds like you, I implore you to go to IALLG.com. Go ahead and hit schedule at the top, and let's talk. Again, we're going to go over 3 things. Number 1, who are you? What are you? What are your goals? What are you building? Number 2, where do you want to go? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? And number 3, why aren't you there already? And if I feel that my solution can help you bridge that gap, then we'll talk a little further. And if not, you have a game plan moving forward and what you need to do to further your life. If that sounds like a bet, if that sounds like a plan, I want you to go ahead and check me out. This is Brother Coasty at IALLG.com. We are always building bridges within to explore the world without. Peace, family.